Howdy, howdy, this is Mr. Potter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how to present your Unit 4 work in this class. So I've got the default program that Sculpt starts off with, this import turtle, the one that draws the square with the four sides. And we're going to take this and create this into a document that we can submit to our teacher. We'll either be able to print this out and hand it in to our teacher, or you can send it to your teacher as a PDF attachment like we've done some of our performance tasks. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to go to our Google Drive. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder, and this folder is going to be for my Unit 4 Python with turtle graphics. So I've got this folder, and I'm going to make sure all my work is in this folder. So I'm really going to do two things here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Google Doc, and the second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Google Drawings. So I'm going to have my Google Doc and my Google Drawings. And I'm going to go to my Sculpt webpage, and I'm going to take this code and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste it in my Google Doc. So I make sure I have an appropriate title here, like Unit 4 Day 1 or whatever this day is. But notice that this code doesn't look like the code we have here. Part of what makes this look like code is the font that we're using. It's using something called a fixed width font. All the characters are the same width, so even the I in N is the same width as the W in forward. Whereas when I'm looking at these are proportional fonts, so the I in N is very thin. The W in forward is actually one of the widest letters we have. So I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to choose a fixed width font. And there are two fixed width fonts that are really used a lot. One of them is Courier New, and this one looks a lot like typewriting. And the other thing that you could use is Consolas, which is one of the new Windows fonts that looks an awful lot like what we had in our Sculpt screen. So this is what my code needs to look like, but I also need to make sure that up at the very top, I put my name. Now, my name is not part of code, so it needs to be in a comment. Remember that we use the hash to put our comments in. So you're going to make sure you have a hash followed by whatever your name is. So I've got mistapotta here. I've got my code labeled with my name in here. So now what I need to do is make sure that I have a space down here for my output. And I'm going to go back to Sculpt, and my output is this window here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the Alt key and print the print screen key. Now this is either by your backspace key if you're doing this on a desktop, or it's often by your F12 key if you're on a laptop. So I'm going to do Alt print screen, and what this does is this actually creates a screenshot of my screen. So when I go to my Google Drawing, I can paste in here, and it's going to paste my screen. Now notice that there's a lot of extra stuff up here that I want. All I'm really interested in is this part right here. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose crop image. And what I notice in the corners, I get these little black corners, and I can take these and I can drag them to contain my output. Notice that the area that I'm dragging it to is still the full color, but everything else is kind of grayed out, like it's transparent. And then what I can do is I can go over here and actually crop the image. So this is the image that I want to save into my Google document. So I'm going to right click to copy, and then I'm going to go to my Google Doc, and I'm going to right click and paste. So now what I've got is I've got a document here that I could file print. I could print this out on a color printer if I have a color printer in a lab. I could, if my teacher asks me to, I could email it as an attachment and send it to my teacher as a PDF, so they can have a copy of this and grade it on their machines at home. There's lots of options you can do at this point, but at this point, I've got my output, and you're going to need to do something similar to this. Your teacher will give you more details, but I just wanted to make sure everyone understands how to create an output document for the Python unit that we're doing. So once again, this is Mr. Potter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.